Hello, Pello Capital.
Hello there. Good morning, sir. Oh, good afternoon, rather.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can give me some information, please. I spoke to one of your colleagues on Friday regarding the closure of my account.
Right. Yes,
And
I remember. Yes. Yep. Hello there.
He told me to contact this number, which I'm doing now.
This number? Oh, no.
Yeah.
It wasn't this number. It wouldn't be myself. I spoke with yourself. It was me you spoke with. Can you remind me of your name once again?
Yeah, last Friday.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, you were upset.
That's right,
You're upset with one of the brokers.
Yeah,
you were
that's
upset
right.
with one of the brokers because they were quite rude to you. And so...
That's correct, my friend.
Yes.
Have you had a little word in his ear?
Well, because we've all been bit down in the dumps about what's been happening with the football, I reserved it a little bit, but I will have a word. Okay?
Well, as I told you the other day, it's not a good advertisement for your business, is it?
That's it, yes. Yes. So
I've been dealing with Mr. over the last 2 years.
Yes, okay. How much have you got in your accounts?
Well, I think there's this is what I'm saying. I haven't been receiving statements. I haven't received a dicky bird for about 18 months.
Okay, let me just double check, yeah? Let's see if I can find it.
Okay, thanks for your time and your assistance.
No worries. Let me, one second. And,
Yeah, you take your time.
Okay. From what part of Wales do you come from?
Well, I'm about 50 miles west of Swansea.
Yeah? Swansea, okay. We've got you. 100. Does that sound correct?
Well, this is, I don't know. I've left everything in Simon hands, but I haven't received a statement, nothing at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I know this COVID has been an upheaval on everything, I appreciate that.
Mm.
But there's been no contact at all for about 18 months.
Right, okay. I mean, what it's all, I pressed the wrong button here, but...
Well, I'll tell you what should get this off. This Mr. Bird phoned me about 3 weeks ago out of the blue.
Yes.
And, I've had no communication or nothing. Well, he told me on the first phone call that the plan charges have amounted to £50.
Mm-hmm.
And that I owed that, that I owed you that, to pay for. Well, that was fair enough. Well, I wasn't aware about the plan charges, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So I said, well, look, under the circumstances, I've lost an awful lot of money, and I mean an awful lot. And I said, well, I'd like to close my account.
Okay.
So he told me, oh, yeah, you can do it now, he said, over the phone.
Okay.
Well, he said then there was no mention of any paperwork being forwarded to be signed, which is the norm. And I've been phoning him regular on a weekly basis.
Right.
Well,
okay.
Of course, nothing's materialized.
Okay. One second, please. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Right, okay. So, let's get down to brass tacks, okay?
Yeah, that's that. Well, you're a man after my own heart. You speak, with a straight tongue.
Thank you very much. Now, look, we wouldn't like, as a broker, as a businessman, we wouldn't like you to leave us simply because you felt that, for whatever reason, you felt you've been mistreated. Okay.
Well, I tell you, no. It wasn't because of that treatment last Friday. The simple reason, through my investments over the last 2 years, I've lost over 100 grand, man.
What?
It's true what I'm telling you. You have a word to Simon Kirby.
Right.
I was hurting me the most, and I explained this to Simon on numerous occasions. It was my inheritance after my dear father. I had every trust and good faith in your company, in investing, in different tranches. over a 2-year period. You speak to Simon.
A 2-year period? Over 2
Sorry?
years? Over 2 years?
Yes.
You've lost 100,000.
Yes. You check it out with
Some of the shares, what you got involved in?
I got the record of every share I got. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were penny shares. And on numerous occasions, Simon was phoning me 2 or 3 times a day to make a trade. And the trade was averaging between 6 and 10 grand. Over a 2-year period, without a word of a lie for you, I had every faith and trust in Simon as a... Well, he was with SVS, then he went to your company, and he contacted me then and kindly asked me to transfer to your company under his brokerage. Well, that I did in good faith and trust, and that's what's happened.
Right, what is it, when you put that investment in, when you put the investment in, the main objective, was it for income or was it to grow the capital?
To growth.
Right.
And he was dealing in shares that weren't on, which had a initial offer, pre-public offer. Penny shares.
Yeah.
And you look at my account and my contract notes, or you speak to Simon. My average trade, it was 2, 3 trades a day sometimes. It was averaging between 6 and 10 grand.
Right. Now,
and I haven't heard a dicky bird from Simon for about 18 months.
Now, Randy, you must understand. What happened. Yeah. Now,
very often, I put on the beginning, say I put 50 grand in my account, right, to open my account, but I was given extra checks then along the way, to make more trades.
Right.
With I'd say the 50 grand initial investment, along the way then when that was dwindling, I was writing special checks, individual checks to make further trades.
Right.
It is very, very upsetting, you believe me.
Why was you adding extra money to this?
Sorry?
Why did you add extra money to this?
Well, according to Simon, whatever trade he was buying looked good. He was buying oil shares and various other shares. Well, not one was productive. They all went down the Swanee. And as I told you, they were shares I've never heard of. I dealt in the stock market for over 40 years. And I know a bit about investing, but these were penny shares. I thought I'd try something different.
Mm-hmm.
But you want a word with Simon, or you check my accounts. I paid in over a period of 2 years, I've lost over 100 grand.
Right.
So, wow, exactly. It's been very, very upsetting and very, very hurtful. This is why I haven't bothered up until now, because it's been so upsetting and heartbreaking, knowing where the money came from.
Yes,
and when that gentleman, Mr. Bird, phoned me then, that put a tin hat on matters to say that I owed you £50. I thought to myself, after all the money I've lost with your company, you want me to pay more in charges.
Mm.
So I finally decided to pull the plug, and I said then, right, under the circumstances, take what I owe you and close my account.
Okay. So, look, may I ask...
Yeah, you ask me anything. I'm ever so glad for your time, and I reckon there's someone to speak to.
That's fine. May I ask...
I appreciate your time, invaluably.
I'm trying to get an understanding. So may I ask, how old are you?
I'm 71, man.
71.
I've only got a pension. I'm not made of gold, so to speak. I explained this. Simon knew about my dad's inheritance. I explained to him hand over fist.
Okay.
And when you know it was dwindling virtually to nothing, I told him that it's most upsetting that all the money is gone.
Okay. Now, Mr. Vickers, may I ask, at 71 years of age, why do you want to go for penny shares?
Well, exactly. For the simple reason, I'll tell you about these penny shares. This SVS, I don't know if I had a leaflet for the door, or saw something on the paper. I don't know. I thought it would be something new for me. I've invested with the stock market for over 40 years, but I thought it would be a change. And when I got through to Simon with SVS. Well, then, you were saying about, he's made a lot of money for individuals and all the rest of it. Well, I had good trust and faith in the man. I'll be honest with you. Okay. But, of course, well, the next thing I knew then, he phoned me up then and he told me was, that's why I went to your company, that he had been headhunted to join your company. So under the circumstances, I said, well, you must be good in your job to be headhunted. And on that trust and faith, that's why I transferred. And then, shortly after I did transfer, I was told then with the FCA, I had a letter from them saying that SVS, fraudulent.
Right. So
that they shouldn't have been trading in the first place.
So, from my understanding, the money, that 100,000 you're talking about, it was with SVS and not with Pello. Is that correct?
Well, yes, the majority of it, yes, but I've done a lot with Pello too.
Okay, because on the Pello,
I can't remember the split exactly, but my initial investment in these penny shares were with SVS.
Yes. Okay.
As I said, the tranches were 6 to 10 grand. There was nothing like 1 or 2 grand or something minimal.
Then is that in the Pello, because that's this is the company which I work for. In the
Pello,
In the Pello, there's 1,000 about £1,500 in the Pello.
Yes, I agree with you. There is, but that's why there's so little in that account, because all the trades I done have gone down the Swanee.
Right, but that was
all the capital I had. As I said, there was some in SVS and some in capital. All the capital I had with SVS, everything was transferred to Simon, to your company.
Right, okay.
And then the trade started, all over again.
Right, okay. All I'm seeing on your account is Optical PLC, Amphrey Pharma. Just two companies I'm seeing was traded.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm telling you. From about I got all the contract notes here. I can look them up for you, in time. I got all the contract notes here. And as I told you, whatever the trade was, 99%, they were companies, obviously, weren't on the market.
Yeah.
And they were down the Swanee. He was saying, hold out, it'll grow and it'll grow. Well, it grew all right in the wrong direction.
Right. Okay, so look, can I...
that's all in a nutshell. That's all I can tell you. I think it's most upsetting and most untrustworthy, to be honest with you.
Well,
why did Simon delve in or leave me more or less penniless when he knew where the money had come from for the investments?
Right. Well, I can't speak on behalf.
No, I perfectly agree with you.
I cannot do that. Okay.
No, I don't expect you to.
What I can, from what obviously I can see that it was around September 2019, I believe, you sort of joined us as Pello. Yeah.
Yeah. I got the details. Yeah, I haven't got them. Yeah.
Okay. Right. This is where we are now. Okay.
Yeah.
In German they say gestern is gestern, heute is heute. Yesterday is yesterday, and today is today. Yeah. And I feel I emphasise with you, given the situation and the road which you've came. Okay. But going forward, what is it you would like? I mean, okay, if you close the account, you close the account. But that doesn't solve your existing situation, does it?
Of course it doesn't. I'll never reclaim that $100,000 back.
Right, okay.
That's the hurtful part. That's vanished.
Okay. Are we your only broker?
Yes, only you I deal with. And I deal with the... I got another stockbroking account, but execution only with another company.
Is that Hargraves Lansdowne?
No, that's Jarvis in Tunbridge Wells in Kent.
Yes, and there are custodians.
I've dealt with them for years.
Yeah, okay. So
but it's execution only. I do my own business. Eh?
Okay. On the execution only, when you make your own trades, what would you say is your annual return? How much money do you make in a year doing your own trades?
Well, I'll tell you what. I had. Now this is true. Now I can send you copies if you like. I had a valuation last week.
Yeah. And
without a word of a lie, I'm pretty spot on with I delve into it. With a fine toothbrush and what have you.
Yeah.
I made a profit of $20,000.
On what? On how much?
On the stock 250 and whatever 500 whatever the London stock market is.
No, what I'm saying is, what was your starting capital to make the 20,000?
Yeah, I think it was about. I think it was about $50,000 thereabouts.
So you've made 40%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40%. That's in how long? In a year, or was it in a year?
No, I'd say that's a year roughly. I haven't. I've had the valuation, but I haven't studied it. But I'd say offhand, in about a 12 months, I made about $20,000.
That's great.
Yeah, this is what I'm telling you. I'm no stranger to the FTSE. I dealt in that for the last 40 years, and I've been rewarded handsomely. But when this is what's hurtful, as I've told you previously. I had every faith and trust in Simon as a broker and with the company he was representing.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It was like trying to fill a leaking bucket. Right. It was trade after trade after trade, and not one was flourishing.
Right. Okay.
If you know what I mean.
I understand. What I would say is this, and please have a think about this. Yeah. I'm happy to and see if I could handle your account, and then what we could do is to try and restructure and put down what it is you want, because it sounds to me that you're more of a moderate type of investor as opposed to adventurous, even though you at 70.
Well, I've always gone for growth. I haven't gone for income.
Okay, so you're quite aggressive then.
Well, very aggressive, exactly.
Right. Okay. So I mean, nonetheless, I don't think everything should be on red. Yeah, that's not the way I would trade it. I wouldn't put the high stakes all in.
No. Well, this is what I'm saying. This is where I lost Simon. I'm not being personal in saying this, but it was trade after trade, and as I told you, 2 or 3 trades very often in one day.
Right. Okay.
We had seen something on the internet and it seemed good and what have you. Well, as I told you, I trusted him. He was my broker. He was my manager.
I understand. I appreciate. Look,
Right, and I had every trust and faith in him, and we were having a chat, it was quite sociable.
Okay. Right.
It wasn't, only business, because he was telling me about his family and his children and what have you, which I was interested.
Okay. Look, how about this? How about, okay...
Excuse me asking, what is your position in the company?
I'm stockbroker.
You like Simon then, are you?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the difference is Simon has
Well,
been...
listen now, I leave you into a little secret now, right? You've been, you've had a good year to what I've got to tell you. Now, this is between you and I now personally, okay? Do you know I was so upset last Friday when that Mr. Bird put the phone down?
Yes.
I phoned back and I told him, that is very upsetting what he's done and not a good advert for the company.
Yeah.
And, if things are not sorted truthfully and amicably, it'll go further. Hang on now, between you and I, it has gone further. I contacted the Ombudsman. I spoke to them in detail on Friday, and they rang me back this morning. So you tell me now, they're waiting for me to get back to them. You tell me now where I stand with you as a company.
Well, that would be beyond, that would, two things really. Number one, as a stockbroker, that would be beyond my remit, if you like. But also as a stockbroker, I can only look at things as they are now and say, if you how can I say, each broker approaches the market in their own way.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You're all individuals.
Yes, that's right. So what happens with one broker doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen with the same broker.
No, I perfectly agree with you. This is what I couldn't understand with Simon. I wasn't blind to reality. When the tranches that I was entering into was when the tranches that I was entering into was fruitless, and down the Swanee, you were still doing the same path, like a dog walking the same road.
Right. Okay. I can't comment on.
No, I don't expect you to.
Yeah.
But if you can understand my standing at the moment,
of course, yes.
The £50 charges, I thought, dear me, these are still, charging for a plan. That's worthless. I said then, well, there we are then. I cut my losses. I told him, take what I owe you and send me, the proceeds. Well, that was wishful thinking, that was.
Well, I think, number one, that was very stoic of you, okay? What I would say is this, what is, apart from closing the account, what would be the optimum resolution for you?
Well, it's an impossible request, I know, but if I could have some sort of, compensation or, I don't mean in hard cash or something financially, within your boundaries or whatever.
The only thing which I'm in a position to give is my opinion on the market and any sort of recommendations for stock, if you like, to help grow.
Yeah.
That's the best I can do. But what I would say is that if you were a client of mine, and based on what you've said and your appetite for risk, I would have to, number one, it sounds brutal, but I'd have to rein you in on your appetite for risk.
Yeah, exactly. And not to put all the eggs in one basket.
Absolutely, because I think that's 71.
Because, to be perfectly honest with you, I had blue chip shares with SVS, they were custodians of the stocks. And as soon as Simon joined Pello Capital, he decided to sell them.
Right.
And they were doing well. But as soon as, they were blue chip stocks, I selected myself. But, they were kept in the SVS portfolio. And when he joined your company, he decided to sell. There was about 7 or 8 shares involved. You were telling me now, truthfully, word by word, Simon never mentioned that at all. And I knew, I was having the contract note. Well, I could see his commission was colossal, man.
Everything's there, everything's displayed.
His commission was £500 plus, man. I agree. Nobody does anything for nothing. I perfectly know that. But I was of the opinion Simon's only selecting shares for his commission.
I mean, the way it works is that if your account, if you grow, we grow. So.
Yeah, exactly. The more I make, the more you make. Yeah. As I tell you, and Simon was aware of this. I'm not blind to the FTSE 250 or 500. I dealt with that personally over 40 years.
Could we agree that if I perhaps...
To me, that's a pittance. That's a drop in the ocean.
Yeah, that's true.
Where I had on one occasion over 100 grand.
Yeah.
Listen, I'd be more than happy. I got the knock off. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'd be more than happy. You speak to Simon. You can have a chat amongst yourselves. And if you want to take over my portfolio, I'm all for that.
Okay. Well, I have a chat.
Okay, if you want anything in writing, send the forms in the post and I willingly reply.
Okay.
Now, this is no vendetta against Simon, but I'm bitterly disappointed. He knows the story. I haven't got to repeat myself all the time. He knew the situation from day one.
Okay.
And I think you've seen the picture as I've been talking to you.
Yeah, I have. Okay, so look, I'll do that. I'll do that, and maybe we can get back.
Well, listen now then. Do I keep the 1,500 as it is, or do I leave it for a while to see what materializes for you to take over my account?
Yeah, I'll leave it as it is. If you want to add anything, then by all means do so.
No, then it is the number I had you today to speak to you. The number I phoned this morning.
The last 4 over.
No. Listen now then, Pete. You want to chat with Simon, and in your own time, if you can very kindly give me a ring to tell me what's happening.
Yeah.
You've got it spot on, Peter.
Yes. Okay. So I'll have.
I'd be more than happy and very grateful, Peter, for you to speak to Simon, and if you want to, take over my portfolio for what it's worth, I'm quite happy with that.
Okay, and
if you can, kindly give me a ring eventually to let me know what's happening. And what I'll do now, I'll ring the ombudsman as soon as we finish speaking and tell them that things are on hold for the moment.
If you could ask them to put on hold, let me speak with Simon. Let me
Yeah.
Put it on hold now. Let me speak with Simon, and if possible, and I'm only saying if possible, if you could somehow top it up with what you have, because I don't want any charges to erode more what you have. So.
Well, exactly. Well, that's what Mr. Bird told me, that I owed you £50 in the plan charges over the last 10 months or something.
Yeah, it works out to be £60 a year. £60 a year. If there's any way in which, have a look. Look, I will speak with Simon. Okay. In the meantime, if you can have a look at your portfolio and see whether or not you can sort of top it up a little bit to make it worth your while, and then we will. If I can take you on board, then we'll work out.
Yeah. What I'll do in the meantime now, Peter, I'll have a look for my contract notes.
Mhm.
I've got them all in one pile. I will find them, and then I can give you a grand total of my investments with Simon.
Right. Okay.
Well, that was previously with SVS.
No, I don't
and
know
Pello Capital.
I don't know SVS. I only know Pello Capital. Pello Capital is 1,560.
Yeah. I know, Peter, is very, very minimal, because, as far as I knew, you were off the planet. to be honest with you.
Okay. Well,
And then this Mr. Bird rang me to say that I owed you the plan charges. Well, that put the tin hat on it.
okay. Look.
But you do what you can, Pete, and
Okay.
get back to me, at your convenience.
I will do that. I'll try and...
I'm putting my trust and faith in you now.
Okay.
So I hope you won't leave me down.
No. And if you could please be so kind as to maybe put the ombudsman thing on hold.
Oh, I'll cancel that now, Peter. As soon as we finish speaking, I'll ring them straight away.
Okay, and then I'll try and sort something out.
Yeah. If you can from anywhere, I know you got a heavy heart today after last night's defeat and the manner of the defeat. If you can dig up some form of compensation, I'd be more than welcome.
I don't know about compensation. That's way beyond my remit, but maybe another approach in terms of trying to...
Yeah, okay. Well, you do what you can, Pete, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, then. Have a good
Thanks
day.
for your time, Peter. That's very kind of you. Lovely to speak to you.
No.
If you want to know anything, give me a ring.
I will do that. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Peter.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da, Pete.